Sitting in the corner. Yeah. We're ready, Ms. Frank.
Welcome to our September meeting. We're going to start with our budget hearing. First, we're going to do our pledge and the prayer. Please stand. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Father, thank you for this day. We haven't had a great week so far. Thank you for a nice board visitation day that we got to spend here, just touring the school and getting to see the great things that are done here at Adams Central. I pray that you will please be with us through our decisions tonight and be in each of them, and have us always put our community, our students, and our families first, along with our teachers. Amen.
Amen.
So first, you'll have the agenda in front of you for our public hearing notice for the budgets. So we need to approve the agenda, so we'll need a motion for that.
Make a motion.
One second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. So this is our public hearing on the budgets. They have all been published. Dawn has worked very hard on that. Yeah, so we're just open to any comments that there might be out there about the proposed budgets that we have, and I don't know if either one of you want to say anything else to add
This
to
is
that?
just part of the required process to offer the community time to come in and ask any questions before the board would officially adopt, approve in October.
Okay. Anyone? Okay, if there are no comments, then we'll need a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. And we're going to move right into our regular agenda for tonight. And we need to approve this agenda. There are no additions or changes. It is as written, so.
I'll make a motion to accept the agenda.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Next, we have the minutes, and these would be several of them here. The budget workshop minutes, the collective bargaining public hearing minutes, the budget public hearing minutes, and the regular session minutes from August, all of those. So I know you've had a chance to look over those since they were emailed to you. Were there any additions or changes, corrections when you were looking at them? If not, then we'll need a motion to approve the minutes.
Make a motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Next, we have our public comments time. Is there anyone who would be here to speak and have any comments on anything? Okay. Next, we want to welcome Sheriff Dan Mayor to speak to us about a safety referendum.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for allowing me to come speak. With me is my Chief Deputy Eric Beer. I'm bringing you information. It's something that's come to light through the ISA, the Indiana Sheriff's Association. I've given you copies of a resolution for the National Sheriff's Association. It was basically written by the ISA because Indiana, nationally, we lead in school safety. We really do. Our schools do a great job across the state of Indiana. And the NSA came to us to write this resolution, so I just wanted to give you guys a copy of that resolution. Superintendent, he advised that you already have Senate Bill 127. He emailed that to you earlier, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. This is here to give you information on one of the things that I hold dear in school safety, and that's doors. What is the last place our kids and our teachers have to go to if something bad happens here? Their classroom. And do you think these classroom doors are secure? I'm asking you, do you not? I personally don't think they are. We have nice glass in them, we have glass window panes down the side of them. They are not the last level of protection that our students need. A lot of schools are this way, not just South Adams. A lot of schools are this way. Our front doors, what are they made out of? Glass. Some things, they're there to help reinforce that glass, I understand that, but they don't stop bullets. Bullets go through them, it turns that glass into like a windshield glass, that's great, it's better than nothing. But it's still, we can do better. All schools can do better. And I understand, it's aesthetic, it's opening, it's pleasing. Well, I'm not here to be pleased, I'm here for security. So I'm not gonna sugarcoat any of this. It's not my job, this is your job. If you want to go this route, that's fine. Or if you have other ways of gaining funds to do some of this, but I highly encourage you guys to look at your doors. Now, do I wish I would have had this 2 years ago? When you guys were planning all your renovations and stuff? Yes, I do. But the one thing, if you look at shots are fired, which door would you choose? The door on the left, it looks like a normal classroom door. It's got the window in it, might have the wire in it, but where is that window located? Right next to the door handle. So if I pop that window out, all I have to do is reach in and open up the door. If you notice the other door on the right, the window is high up to the left. If I break that window, I'm still not going to reach that door handle. These doors are ballistic rated, the frame, the locking mechanism, and they have a wood veneer covering so they look like a wood door, but they are not. And the last sheet shows you a picture of what the door is, give you some of the specs to it. But what I see is interesting is referendum. Believe me, I understand no one wants to talk about raising taxes. I understand that completely. But Senate Bill 127 allows you to do a referendum up to 8 years at no more than 10 cents per $100 assessment value. And in that packet I gave you, it's in the back part of this one. No, where is it? Might be in the back part of.
That part of the Indiana State Bill 127?
Yes. It breaks down what they estimate back in, when this bill was passed, of what that referendum would generate to you over the 8 years. So we're right at the top of the list. You're the first school system listed. And that's basically, at 1 year, it's $444,213. And if you times that by 8, if you think it just continue to go, that's what you'd get over the 8 years. If you look at this sheet, through ISA, they contacted the Department of Education, and this is an estimate, and it says that the 3 schools, which is 1 campus, you have approximately 1,341 students, they estimate you have 87 doors. And I'm talking classroom doors. The estimated cost of those doors are $391,500, installed at $4,500 a piece installed. 1 year referendum would pay for all those doors. 1 year would pay for it all. So I ask you, is it worth it? Do you believe our children's parents are willing to pay that? And that's at 10 cents. You don't have to go 10 cents. You could go lower and maybe put it out more than 1 year, but this money can be used for all kinds of things, SROs, any type of security improvement to the school system. That's assessments, that's mental health. There's a wide range of what this money can be used for. But this is the last incident of their defense, is that classroom door. We've done a great job of locking the classroom doors now. For the most part, I would say all of our school systems here. But there's still a wood door. We still have glass panes down the side of them. So I want you to look hard at this information. And I will come to speak on behalf of it at any time. Because I, as a parent who has kids in South Adams, I'll pay the extra money. Because we don't want something like has happened across this country. And I'm gonna speak Uvalde, that door, the lock was broke. The other classroom that adjoined, he bypassed that door because it was locked. He went that, it was open because the lock was broke. So how long had it been broke? I don't care. I don't want to second quarterback that. But it was broke and he got in and things went bad. So if we can keep them out in the hallway and deal with them that way, it gives us time to get there and do our job. But if they get in the hall, when they get in the classroom, we all see what happens. It's not good. So I really want you to look at this. I'm not asking for an answer tonight of any kind. I want this to be a start of a discussion between you and the parents of AC, basically. Is it something worth they want to pay for? Because it's expensive. $4,500 a door. It's not cheap. But I think some of our doors here are gonna need more than that, because we have glass panes right down the side of them, if I'm not correct, or am I getting my schools mixed up?
You're correct.
Okay. So it'll probably be a little bit more construction than that to tighten up those door systems. And lastly, I wanna make sure everybody here, on the web, here, the response that you saw in Texas, you will not see in Adams County, Indiana. I guarantee it. We've been practicing and training for situations like this since Columbine. And our response is, first officer on scene, he goes. And that's how we train here. So you will not see a 90-minute response time before anybody breaches that door. We're going by the one-on-one, and if more officers get there, then we get together and we do what we do. But I want to make it perfectly clear, because I don't know how many times I've been asked, well, is that the response that we get here? No, it's not. I was involved with school safety as a state trooper. We've trained with all the departments. We have a rescue task force with our fire departments to get medics in here quicker to get the injured out. We are prepared if something bad happens. I hope to God nothing ever does happen. But if it does, we're going to respond, and it's going to be much better response than what we've seen here nationally. So I just want to get that, because like I said, I've been asked that many, many times since that episode took place, and that is not how we respond here. That was a breakdown complete in Texas with leadership, training, whatever you want to say. There's a whole cascade of things that went wrong down there. I'm not going to say we're going to be perfect, but I guarantee you, first officer on scene, he's going in. He's not waiting. So that's all I have. I want this to start as a conversation. You have a lot of information to digest. I understand raising taxes or adding more tariffs or liens or whatever you want to call it. It's not a pleasant thing. But if you don't have any other way to fund it, I think that's the way we should go. And I, as a school child parent, I'm willing to pay for that. Tonight, I'm going to do the same spiel at South Adams. And next month, I'm going to North Adams. It's something I totally believe in. And I think if the money's used the right way, I think the parents will back it too. And like I said, if you ever want me to come back to speak on my experiences and things like that, I have no problem doing so. All you have to do is call. I'll take any questions from anyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you for informing us, and we have a lot to think about and a lot to talk about, so we appreciate your time and your service to our county.
Thank you.
Keeping us safe. Thank you. All right, we will move on to our Finance Board action items. First, we have our approval of our payment vouchers and our fund reports. We received all of that information through email. Hopefully you had a chance to look at the vouchers and the fund reports, and I don't know if anyone has any questions on anything individually in there. I don't think anything was out of the ordinary that I remember seeing.
No, again, you'll see some costs for the building project. I'm happy to announce. I think Todd can echo this. In the next 2.5 weeks, we should be moving people into our new facility, so we're excited about that. But hopefully it'll come to an end soon where you see those costs. And of course, the majority, if not all of those costs, will be coming straight from ESSER funds. So this has all been funded by our federal government for the most part. So we've been pretty fortunate.
Okay. Anyone have anything on the vouchers or fund reports? I need a motion to approve those.
Make a motion for approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Next, we'll take the next 3 of them together. We have some approvals of donations that have come in. The first one are some memorial donations in honor of Judy Collins. So we thank her family for thinking of Adams Central and all her years of service and dedication to Adams Central and the transportation department. So they did send us some memorial donations. That was very kind of them to do. Our next one is Fleetwood RV, who supplied some birdhouses for the art program. So that was something exciting for Mrs. Emmenheiser. And then lastly, we had the Java Bean Cafe, and they have also given us a donation and sent us some. So we appreciate all the donations that we receive outside. We just now need to approve those donations.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Next, we have approval of stipends. We will take these next two together. So this is to help out our ELL program. And for those of you who might not know, that's English language learners. Amy Winger had been teaching in that area, and she took another position and moved on. So she was full-time, so we are now trying to figure out how we meet all of the requirements we need to fill her position. I know it was posted. We could not find anyone at this time, so we have some stipends. And for the elementary, we have Mr. Adam Yates and Dr. Karen Tompkinson, who are going to be taking care of some needs there. And the middle school and high school, we have Ms. Erin Everett and Mrs. Sarah Linthicum, who are going to be able to fulfill the role that Mrs. Winger was in charge of those children. So that's how we're going to fill that position for now. We're going to just have to see how that works for the rest of the school year. Did you need to add anything, Mr. Mahaffey, to that?
We feel confident that that will be a good fit, a good solution for the remainder of this year. And then at the conclusion of this year, we'll probably go back to the drawing boards and repost that position in the hopes of finding one person who can address it full-time. But I do want to thank all of the 4 staff members for agreeing to serve in this capacity. It's quite a bit of extra work and on top of their current roles, but we really appreciate you stepping up and being willing to help out.
All right, we need a motion to approve the stipends for those 4 individuals.
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Next, we have approval to purchase, and the first item is an open display case or cooler for the cafeteria. I don't think Mrs. Barker's here, but one of the coolers has gone bad, and we've got to replace it so we can keep that a la carte line moving along. So I know all of you, should have seen the proposal in there for that, to replace that. So we just need a motion to approve that.
Make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Next, we have a trailer that we are purchasing, and you should have all seen the purchase agreement in there for that. Any questions on that?
This was a need for Adams Central. We currently have a much older trailer that has seen its better days, and we're very grateful that Mr. Garwood was willing to give us an exceptional deal on this trailer, so thank you very much, and we'll make great use of it. It's in great condition, and it'll be put to good use with our band and athletic needs.
And you gotta advertise it, it's a bright red trailer, so it will match our school.
That's right.
It will be a mobile billboard, guaranteed.
Thanks, Phil.
Yep.
All right, we'll need a motion.
Make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And then
I abstain.
Okay, thanks. All right, motion carries. Next, we have the approval of contracts. We are going to take these separately. The first one is Meridian Health Services, and this is so that services can continue on for one of our students. And you should have, it looks pretty familiar to other ones that we have seen in the past for that, so we just need to approve that contract.
I'll make motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Next is Level Data, and this is a state data validation suite. This is something we are adding on to PowerSchool to help us out with reporting, correct? Okay, so that was a pretty short contract in there that you should have seen as an add-on, and we'll need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. And Third here, we have our risk contract, and from what I could tell, it looked like very familiar, one that we see every year.
It's a renewal.
So, any questions on the risk contract? Okay, then we'll need a motion to approve.
I'll make motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Next, we have our AUL life insurance, and if I'm understanding Mrs. Hirely correctly, this is just changing a waiting period that we have to match up with our current health insurance, so that, okay, so that everything's uniform whenever paychecks go out, right? Okay, so that's the only change in that, right, Mrs. Hirely? Okay, so we just need a motion to approve that waiting period change on the life insurance.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Next, we have our policy board action items, approval of our school improvement plans at the elementary, middle, and high school. And Mrs. McCullough, would you like to, I mean, I know today many of us got to hear all about the improvement plans, but I don't know if you want to highlight anything.
Sure. We have 3 goals on our elementary plan. One is for 95% attendance for our students. We have an English and math goal. They are the same as 65% pass rate, which would be about 10%. Our goal is pretty lofty, but hopefully able to attain at 65% pass this year. And so we have strategies and supports in place within the plan to help ensure that that can happen to the best that we can.
Mrs. Ish?
So we also have a 95% attendance rate at the middle school and high school. And we also have our goals around our ELA and math performance on either ILEARN or SAT, which would be the test at the middle school and the high school. We're looking for a 5% growth rate with both buildings, and in the high school is the additional goal of looking for that 100% graduation rate.
Okay, which we've met, right?
We've met.
It's
possible.
That's right. Okay, well, thank you for all your hard work, all the administration on those plans that are very detailed and show us the action that we're going to take to get to those goals. And thanks for sharing them with us earlier more in detail today. So we will need a motion to approve the 3 different school plans.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Next, we have the approval of our virtual learning day plan. And I'm going to look back to our principals again because this is a little different than in the past. And this will be going out to parents to explain to them what to expect on the synchronous learning as opposed to our other days. So I'll let you ladies decide however you want to speak on that.
Sure. So our plan is the first 3 days that we would cancel school, we would just use our makeup days. So we'll use up our makeup days first. After that, then we would be able to go to asynchronous learning, which would be virtual learning as we know it. Lessons will be posted on Schoology using our model. Students will be able to work from home at whatever time they would work best for them and their families. And then after those 3 days, then we will move to what we would call synchronous learning. This is a response to a required change by the state, by IDOE, so it's a required change. We are going to start training our teachers actually in synchronous learning tomorrow, so that we are well prepared before it happens. We're going to work with our students. We're actually working with our students on October 12th to kind of do some practicing there. So we'll be very, very prepared before this would happen, because we've got 6 days anyway to prepare. And then the high school, middle school is just going to follow for the synchronous learning, the 2-hour delay schedule, which means it would be like a regular 2-hour delay day at school. Only students will just log in from their iPads and get on the Google Meet. They'll be with their teacher during class. We'll have our breaks. It's the exact same as our 2-hour delay schedule. And we will get full details out to all of our kiddos before then.
Our elementary plan will be the same leading up to the synchronous days, and then our day is required 2.5 hours. So we have it laid out that they will spend some time with the administration in a guidance lesson. They will have special class, and then they will have a 45-minute ELA time, they'll have a little break, and then they'll come back for 45 minutes of mathematics, and we'll work on who those students will be connecting with here. Those are our next steps of how all that will work internally, so.
Okay. Thank you for explaining that. And like I said, there will be a letter going home so that parents will have get to see it concrete in front of them. And I'm sure it'll be on our website too, of the plan and how that will work. And hopefully we won't have to worry about that. We'll just keep in session and we won't have issues like that. All right. Are there any questions from the board on the virtual plan? If not, we'll need a motion to approve the virtual learning day plan.
I'll make that motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Next, we're going to move on to the approval of textbook recommendation. So we have the EdMark, which is something that's used for high school special education. And Dr. Tompkinson, I think you played a part in that, so would you like to talk to us about that?
Absolutely. It's a program that is used with Abby Ogg and Tricia Hershey students. And it's a program they've been using for quite a few years. Previously, I believe it was covered by a grant. There have been some updates with that program. It's now digital and there's no longer the disc option. So there was a need to kind of update and go with the current version of that program.
Okay. Any questions for Dr. Tompkinson? Okay, then we'll need a motion to approve the textbook.
Make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Next, we have a new program called Journey with a Jet that's going to start at our elementary level, and I've asked Mrs. Herring to speak a little bit about that since we could see the paper, but kind of like to know a little bit more about it.
Hopefully you all received all the different forms and things like that and had a chance to look at it. Obviously, Journey with the Jet is a mentoring program, and I kind of got the idea last year when Mrs. Vines came to kindergartners and asked if we had any kids that could use a positive mentor, because her, I can't remember what grade it was, 4th or 5th grade HA kids had realized that that was something that they could do. And so at lunches, they took and became mentors with some of our kids in kindergarten. And I thought, that's pretty sad if elementary kids can do that, that there's got to be adults that can do that. And there used to be things like Boys and Girls Club, or not Boys and Girls Club, but Big Brothers, Big Sisters, things like that we don't see as much anymore. So I went to Joel and asked him, and he said if I did the dirty work, the footwork, yes, that would be a good idea. So I did a lot of research and calls and talked to some of the other schools that do it and have had a lot of success with it. The hard part is finding mentors, because we really, really are pushing that these are the kids that need consistency in their lives. And so I know that's scary for some people. It's hard. We're not really in an area that has a lot of businesses real close that have adults that can come. I do have about 6 mentors in place right now. I'm working on a couple more, and I've met with Mary and Sarah and Megan, and actually Megan and I were talking the other day, and we said Word would be a great group of people that would be mentors, or in the central office or anything. So if you're interested, let us know. But we will be having one-to-one mentors. Some of the married couples I have might share a student, because one of them has some health issues. So if she's sick, then the husband can come in, or things like that. So that's another option. But we're hoping to start it around October. And we have all kinds of paperwork and processes, and they'll be doing the background checks through the school, and they will be having a training with us and things like that. So any other questions on that?
So did you put the word out in some other way that maybe I didn't see, like for mentors, or were you just hoping people, you kind of personal contacts?
We didn't really stand up, advertise it, put it on
Yeah.
Facebook kind of thing, because we want to pick and choose, not pick and choose is the word, but to help us. So I did reach out to all retired teachers. And I reached out to people in my church that I knew. A lot of the places that I contact, the schools that do this, started from churches. A lot of churches joined in and became the mentors, the people in there. So some of them, because I know them personally, I knew who would maybe be some really good, but like I said, board members would be awesome too. So if you also know other people, because we talked and we said it would be good to start small anyways, since this is very new, and hopefully it will be something that grows.
All right. Well, thanks for putting in the legwork for that. Sounds like a good program to get started. Any other questions from the board for Mrs. Herring?
For the record, I did not say dirty work.
I forgive them.
I said I would greatly appreciate it if you put things in place so this could get started.
How many mentors do you feel you'll need this first year?
That's a good question. Sarah, you can jump in anytime too, but we're looking at kids that are brought to us from teacher recommendations too, and it doesn't mean they're gonna be kids with behaviors or, you know, I'm guilty of it too. A lot of parents are guilty of not talking to their kids, and when the kids, we really know what kids really are craving, adult attention, that need somebody to talk to and somebody to listen to them. So maybe some of the kids that are brought to our MTSS meetings, you wanna jump in, Sarah?
If you will. I mean, really, if we're looking at this, it's kind of like a tier 2 intervention if you're looking at PBIS. And our tier 2 interventions would hit possibly no more than 20% of our student population, Ben. So if we're looking at 650 kiddos, about 20% maybe, but there's other tier 2 interventions that we do, and that tier 2 means like it's just not for, tier 1 is everybody, tier 2 is then these, you know, select few individuals that might need that added support. But we also went back and forth too, because we may have students who are on a tier 1, but they just need that connection. So can we get back with you? Like, I mean, and look at like, I know right now I would probably have about 6 to 8, and then kind of see what that
Obviously,
looks like.
everyone could use more positive, as many positive mentors in their life as they can. So as many as we can get, I think we could find someone to pair up with them. My vision, since I call it Journey with the Jet, is I would love for it to be, if one of them's a first grader, I would love for that mentor to follow that student throughout their life, and at school years, you know, be with them in 2nd grade, 3rd grade, and we have a form, if the parent gives permission and wants to give their phone number, then the mentors can even have them over for supper or something, and then they can be Journey with the Jet, and they can make a connection, relationship with that family as well.
Okay. All right, thank you. We will need a motion to approve the mentoring program.
I'll make a motion.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Next, we had submitted to us about the formation of a middle school baseball club from Coach Foster. He wants to get that started here, and it looked like a good thing. I don't know if any of you had some questions or anything about that. I don't know any more than what we read, but it looked to me like something that's very positive for our baseball program.
Yeah, I think this is a great opportunity to really enhance that feeder program coming into our high school. And boy, I appreciate our new baseball coach kind of stepping up and increasing the capacity of his program to really focus on those middle schoolers. So yeah, I agree. This is a very positive thing for Adams Central and our baseball program.
Maybe it might be even a good thing for our tennis program to look at.
All right. Are there any questions about the baseball club? All right, if not, then let's, we can need a motion to approve the baseball club.
Make that motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Next, we have several out-of-state trips that are all FFA, and then we had one Area 18 trip as well. So we had, I know you got all these requests at once to take a look at, but we had the National Dairy Judging. That's in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania in September 16th through 19th. The FFA Leadership Camp in Trafalgar, and that's October 30th through October 2nd. The State Soils contest in Rensselaer on October 13th through 15th. And the FFA National Convention in Indianapolis. And just to clarify, the students will miss school for that. I know there was one little box checked that they would not, but then they will be missing some school for that. It's October 25th through 29th. Then there's a leadership camp that has a couple of different dates that they might go in November, depending on that availability. Then there's the Ohio State Stone Lab trip, this to Lake Erie on September 26th. Last, we had the Area 18 Precision Machining trip to Chicago that we all were informed about, that happened yesterday. So these trips are all the out-of-state ones that I think FFA foresees for now. Did anyone have any questions on those? I think for the most part, they were pretty typical trips we've approved in the past. I know Mr. Jones couldn't make it tonight, but I don't know if there was anything else we needed to talk about with the trips.
Other than the fact that Mr. Jones does an exceptional job providing pretty neat experiences for our students. So we were very fortunate to have him in that position.
Yep, we are. And Mrs. Colhagen, I believe, is
Yes.
on
Yep,
these as
thank you.
well.
I didn't want to miss her, leave her out, so thank you.
So does anyone have any other questions about the trips or comments about those? We'll need a motion if we have no other discussion.
Make the motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. Next, we had quite a long list, approval to identify some items as surplus or no use in value. And these were some Title I iPads and MacBooks. So you had quite a few listed there. I believe we have the tech team here if we have any questions on those. Do you guys have any comments, questions, or anything for us? Okay. So these are just of no value anymore, no use to us, so we need to approve getting rid of them.
Now, Mr. Snyder, what actually happens with this technology when we identify it as surplus? I know at the end of the senior year, a lot of times we identify those and then we sell those devices. But in mid-year like this, starting off, I think we have a company that comes in and recycles these.
Yeah, we'll either recycle them or sell them involved with the secondary.
And then, Mr. Rue, if there were some Title I devices, I didn't know if you wanted to mention or say anything about those.
We appreciate the federal funds used to support that, and they're no longer used.
And now we're replacing it with brand new stuff, right?
Yes.
Great.
All right, we'll need a motion to approve the items as surplus.
I'll make a motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Next, our Personnel Board action items. Our first one is we need to approve the maternity leave request for Mrs. Heather Carlson, our nurse aide. Is there a motion?
Make a motion.
A second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. We wish her the best of luck. Next, we have 5 resignations that we need to approve. First is Mrs. Missy Farrote, a kindergarten aide. Second is Mrs. Shannon Dines, our high ability coordinator. Third is Miss Cheryl Leakey, our data coordinator. Fourth, we have Mr. David Myers, our lunchroom supervisor. And lastly, we have Mr. Craig Lohr, our middle school social studies teacher. Actually, that's high school, correct? So sadly, we hate to say goodbye to these individuals, but we know they have other plans and other things in their future, some outside of education, some inside education, but we wish them the best and thank them. And I don't know if anyone else, principals, have anything that they want to share with us, but some big losses here, and they will be missed.
From a corporation level, just to recognize Mrs. Cheryl Leakey. Cheryl has been taking care of our data reporting for quite a while now. She is resigning just to take care of some personal things in life. As we move forward, we'll be working together to figure out how we fill her shoes, to make sure that as we move forward, we're reporting our data accurately, completely, and timely. But just having that loss with Cheryl, boy, we're going to really feel that, not just in the responsibility and the job that she does, but just the type of person she is. If you spent any time around Cheryl, you can tell she is of extreme high integrity and just a wonderful person to be around. And she has been dedicated to Adams Central, so she's a true Jet, and we wish her the best of luck, but we certainly will miss her quite a bit. And I didn't know if anyone wants to speak of the other people leaving us.
Yes, we will, really, honestly, miss all of them so much. Sheena Nines has done a fantastic job with our high ability program. She's just really helped us grow. She's always willing to do the research to help us implement best practices and just to really provide that support that we need for our students. And we have not had Mr. Moore with us very long, but we really just appreciate all he's done for our high school students. We will miss him as he transitions out. And that cafeteria supervisor, David, has been doing a great job. Like, we're gonna miss him too. That's been just a great few weeks, so yeah, definitely gonna be missed.
And I want to reiterate too with Shannon and David, we will miss them as well as Missy, the work that they've done and the way that they push us forward, especially Shannon with the high ability, pushing our students and teachers and administration as well. And Missy's been here a long time with our littlest ones, and so she's moving on to new adventures, but will be missed.
Thank you. All right, then we'll need a motion to approve the 5 resignations.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Next, we're on to hiring. Some different positions here. First, we have Ms. Gabriella Marbaugh, and she's as a preschool aide. Mrs. Sadie Gerber is a kindergarten aide, and let's see, Mrs. Aubrey Pulver in special needs instructional aide. We also have Ms. Jenny Covington, a long-term maternity sub for kindergarten for Mrs. Baker. And so those would be, I believe, all of our elementary ones.
Correct.
Do you have anything, Mrs. O'Connor?
No, Gabby Marvel's been with us for a while as a sub, and so now she's just going to come on staff and run more full-time, part-time with us regularly. Sadie Gerber was working in the cafeteria and subbing and found a passion for our little ones in kindergarten through summer for subbing, and so she's going to be jumping ship from the cafeteria over to working with students, which is a blessing. Jenny Covington is coming in to fill Haley Baker's maternity leave, and so there's lots of learning and growing for her in the kindergarten, and so lots of fast-paced work. And Aubrey Pulver will be working with either Angie Langrick and Missy Martin to help fill some needs with our students in the special ed area.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to the rest of these, then we have Mrs. Hannah Carr, part-time for our Spanish department. Mrs. Ingrid Cole-Hagan has moved to full-time for our ag. Mrs. Terry Mosier has also moved to full-time for middle school, high school special needs aide. Ms. Caitlin Blake, middle school, high school special needs aide. Mr. Callum McDonald, high school social studies. And next we have several volunteers for our band. So we have Mr. J.B. Bumgardner for band coach driver, Brandon Brown, another band coach driver. Actually, the rest of these are the same. Toby Reeve, Crystal Pittard, and Samuel Bergen, for all of those for volunteer for our band. Do you have anything?
Yeah, so the first 3 were just changes in position and adjustments that we had made in shifts that earlier and missed. But then Caitlin Blake is our new special ed aide. She is helping with Mrs. Auden, Mrs. Hershey in our life skills area, doing a fantastic job. Callum McDonald is actually going to be here tomorrow. So we are very fortunate that he is would be able to come to learn from Mr. Lohr, because we have our teacher professional development day to help that transition. But he has his expertise is in history. He is doing a transition to teaching program, and he has had experience in Fort Wayne at Northside. So we're excited to have him come and work with our high schoolers to fill that history need as well.
Okay, thank you. And we'll need a motion to approve these new hires.
Make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. We welcome all these people to their new positions, or some of them just shifting over. We appreciate that and hope they enjoy it here. Next, we have the approval of our lead teachers' ECA positions. That's quite a long list, and you should have gotten that through email and been able to take a look at that. Breaks it down into every different position that there is for the ECAs. Any questions or clarifications on that as you took a look at it?
I believe these are all identified in the master agreement, and once you approve the ECAs to connect to certain personnel, then Mrs. Hirely can pay them appropriately as we start to go through the rest of the year.
All right, if there are no questions or clarifications there, we'll need a motion to approve that.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. Before we move on to the principal report, I just want to say thank you to the school today from all of us being able to come to school, to go into classrooms. I think we all had a good experience if we could be here. And lunch was great too, so we appreciate the staff in the lunchroom. We always feel welcomed, and it's just nice to get to see what is actually happening in the classrooms. Maybe not just hear it from our own students at home, but actually get to go and see what's happening. Also excited about this building project. Things are really moving along, and I know Mr. McDonald will probably have a little update for us here in a moment, but we're excited to get those teachers and students into those new areas of the building. It'll be nice to have everything opened up. Last night I had a chance to go to the PTO meeting, and I just want to encourage anyone who has elementary students to get involved in that. If you're looking somewhere to get involved, they're doing lots of activities, and I know they're low on volunteers, it seems, and there's not a high turnout at their meetings, and I just see that as some way that, you know, sometimes it is hard to get involved and you don't know what maybe you can do, but there's some welcoming people in that group that could find something for you to do if you're interested. So, and also, I'm sure on the website there's different events throughout the year that they have that are, you know, exciting. And I know Mrs. McCullough and Mr. Riley, I'm sure they're getting their basketball shoes ready because they're doing that basketball bash again in the spring and different activities. So like to thank the PTO too for all that they seem to do. I know Mrs. McCullough is probably going to mention some activities they have this week, so I'll let her do that. But yeah, just want to thank them for being involved and being leaders. So we'll move on to the principal reports with elementary first.
Okay, I just want to come back to Mrs. Herring sharing about the journey with the JET. I think one of the things that makes Adams Central so special is our teachers and our staff really do work to come around a student and make sure that all of their needs are met, and they're always looking for opportunities to make things better for them. And so the kind of care she's talking about is, I think, what is truly happening for our students, and so that's a great pride, I think, that we can have in the work that's being done here. Tomorrow we do have professional development for our teachers, and so students will be home, you know, doing all of kinds of great academic things, I'm sure. But while we're here, we're going to be learning. Our core teachers at the elementary are going to be working on with EES, which is a company that's helping us with some project-based learning. And so they're going to be taking our teachers through lessons where the teachers will be simulating the student what this project looks like, and then how to integrate projects through the content areas. So they'll be spending the day doing that. So we are also this week starting, our literacy team will be meeting, and we're going to start a focused work on improving our literacy block, what that block should look like, what expectations should happen in that block, and what we believe at Adams Central about literacy based on research, based on best practices and what we see in the classroom. And so we'll be having lots of conversations around the literacy block this year. We also have our PTO walkathon on Friday, starting, I believe, at 8:15 with kindergarten and first grade, maybe? I don't know. Starting at 8:15. And so it is a great time for families to come and walk with their students and just spend some time enjoying the outdoors and walking and talking about maybe some of the great things that they can learn and do here at Adams Central.
Thank you. Mrs. Ish?
Well, just to say, like, with the building project, like, the conversations are getting really exciting, like, what it's gonna look like when we move in, right? Like, what the furniture's gonna bring, so just getting to the end of that has been pretty awesome. I've been talking to a lot of really happy teachers, so we are excited about that. Looking forward to tomorrow, learning with our teachers at the high school, middle school. We've been doing a lot of focus on teacher clarity and holding clear and high expectations. And so that's what our day is gonna focus on tomorrow, with teachers having some choice in the sessions that they attend. But all of them will be under that theme of teacher clarity. You know, I really just have to shout out to my teachers as we've been working on those clear expectations, just being really clear in our communication and having high expectations for everyone. They've done a fabulous job. Everything is clear. We've really just been working on that communication with our students. And it's exciting to go into classrooms and watch how everybody's implementing that. So I really appreciate all of their work in that area. And of course our students too, right? I mean, all of these expectations are everywhere. And so I just have to say our students have been fabulous. We've got wonderful kids here. It's great to see them in the halls and at lunch and in classrooms. They're working, they're collaborative, they're kind. It's just a great place to be every day, and that is thank you to our students. Our students are what make Adams Central so awesome, and so I just really want to just tell them how much I appreciate them. And then I have to say, I love having an assistant principal. It is really great. It's awesome to have somebody else walking halls, talking to kids, being in classrooms. You can get twice as much done when there's two people, and that has been amazing. So we're off to a great start.
Good. Thank you. Mr. Mahaffey?
Well, I'm going to yield a portion of my time to Mr. Todd McDonald so he can do or provide us with a building project update. I don't know if he was prepared for a formal presentation, but whatever you can share with us, Todd, would be great.
Okay. It's coming along really good. It's changing every time I walk through and there's something new up. We're down to the finishing touches, basically. Paint, flooring. The epoxy flooring in the shop's a big thing now. It's kind of got everybody slowed down because they can't be in there. They got the heat pump loop filled. I think tomorrow we're going to start firing up some heat pumps. The power switch over, that was a pretty big deal Saturday. It went smooth. We got power back on, I think, by 9 o'clock. So, doors are starting to get hung. I think we're missing a couple pieces of equipment yet as far as heat pumps, and but it's nothing that's going to pertain to us moving in. So, actually, Monday, Kim and I met with Katie yesterday. Monday, we're going to start moving furniture into 2 of the classrooms. We got furniture scattered all over the building right now, so we gotta actually go around and try to find it. There might be some classrooms where we just use these temporary tables till the new stuff comes in, but no, it's going good. So I think we're gonna make the due date end of the month. I mean, the shops won't be ready by any means. It's gonna take a while to get all that equipment moved in and stuff, but the classrooms, I think we're gonna hit it.
Okay. Thank you. Just to start off, thank you to the board for your support on tonight's agenda item. It's always appreciated. Thank you to Kelly Furman for setting up and organizing all of our meetings. Another fantastic job, Kelly, thank you. Don for budget, Arnita for all the HR, my central office staff. They truly are the backbone of that central office. So I couldn't do my job without them at all. In fact, I rely on them an awful lot. I want to thank the board for coming into the school this morning and spending the day. We had the budget not a budget workshop, we had our board workshop, and with principal presentations, those are great. You just continue to reaffirm that Adams Central we are leading our area and our neighboring schools when it comes to student achievement and student growth. When you look at our care and our commitment to our facilities, our CTE programming, our math and science departments, just all of our programs and services, it's a high level of commitment. I mean, we want to provide the best situations and scenarios for all of our students and our staff. Miss Joan Arnold, I want to thank you for being there this morning and presenting kind of a state of address on behalf of the teachers to our school board. This has been a very positive start. It's been a smooth start to the school year, and really we owe it to our teachers. They're the ones really making things happen. So just want to recognize our teachers, great staff, our support staff, our aides, custodians, maintenance, everyone. And I don't want to leave out Michelle Barger and her kitchen crew. Lunch today was delicious. The pie that not very many people heard about was even more delicious. So that was nice that she treated the school board this morning or this afternoon at lunchtime. And just moving forward, we have a lot of great things to be appreciative of working at Adams Central, and I'm looking forward to another great school year. Now, as we look forward, we had some discussion this morning about future building projects that may be taking place. And I admire the board's commitment and appreciate that commitment to always ensure that whatever we do, we respect the tax rate commitment to our community to always maintain that less than $1. And so moving forward in any determinations or decisions that we would make, that is first and foremost our first objective, to make sure that we always honor that, because that is a promise that we have made to our community, and it is actually in our, I want to say, one of our goal statements with the school board when we do the budget workshop. So that's kind of where we're at. So again, thank you for coming today, and that's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you. I don't think there's anything signed in. No one signed in to say anything. Okay, anything else from the board that anyone wants to share, comments? Okay, then we'll need a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, Tuesday, October 11th, we'll be back here, so hope to see you all. Yes, normal time, yep.